The Newtown International Center for Education is dedicated to preparing students and teachers to be culturally and globally literate citizens. Hello, I'm Gary Davis and welcome to Newtown's World. N.I.C.E will host a group of Chinese teachers and students from Liaocheng, China this month as part of an annual education and cultural exchange program. And N.I.C.E intends to expand its focus beyond China to other countries. This year, a group of parents has organized N.I.C.E Parents and Community Organization to support this ongoing program. With us today is Desiree Galassi, who is co-president of the organization. Welcome, Desiree.
Thank you.
Nice
Thank
to
you for
have
having me.
So, Desiree, what is the purpose of N.I.C.E Parent and Community Organization?
Well, I think that our purpose is multifaceted. We wanted to get together to be able to support the goal and the mission, obviously, of the N.I.C.E program. We wanted to kind of be a centralized location for parents who are considering hosting or who are considering sending their students overseas, and also to be, a vehicle through which we can disseminate some information about, how this program or other programs like it impact our students and our community.
So, who came up with the idea of starting this new organization?
I think, it sort of evolved within discussions and dialogues, with parents and also with Jason Hiroa, who was he was the founder of the program. He's an assistant principal at Newtown High School. And just in talking with him, we recognized that there was a need to create an organization that represented the parent side, but also, more importantly, the community side, because we don't want this just to be limited to the parents of the students who are involved in the program, but we want to bring in the greater community.
Well, there's a student ambassador group that is also very critical to the N.I.C.E initiative, and it's really students who both go overseas to China, but also just offered to help here at Newtown during the exchange program, doing other types of activities. So
Right.
it's really great, all the teachers and students who are engaged. Now, what role, in terms of the things that you will do, will the parents and community organization play?
For right now, from my perspective, I'm fairly new to the whole program, and the program itself is fairly new. So I think that our purpose for right now is to help with the education of the greater community, to have them understand why this program exists. Also to sort of be a centralized locations for parents who are considering this program for their children for the coming years. We have parents who have already had their students go overseas, and for those of us who have not had students go yet, it's really important to form those connections.
And it's really important to make that connection to the community. I think sometimes people think, well, it's just this program for a couple of kids at the high school, and really it's much more involving than that. And it's quite exciting. And really, so this month we have students, again, coming from China to Newtown High School. What role do you see the organization playing with this year's exchange program?
Well, the parent and the community organization, we're going to be closely connected with these delegates. We have several activities that are going to be open to the public. For example, we have a Chinese New Year celebration that's going to be on February 4th in the evening, 6:30 at the high school. And there's going to be a faculty and student quiz show, which should be great, a potluck. And so we are, involved in those activities in many ways, such as providing food, helping with the preparations, whatever is needed, basically.
So where could people go to find information about some of the activities that are happening over the next couple of weeks?
The best place for right now, I would direct them to the high school website. Actually, if you go directly to the district website, www.newtown.k12.ct.us.
That's excellent.
Yeah, it's a mouthful. If you go to the district website, there's actually a link right there for the N.I.C.E program, and you'll see the little butterfly.
It's a little icon.
It's a little
nice
icon,
butterfly.
and if you hit that icon, it will take you to the program website. We are also, the parent organization, parent and community organization, is planning on creating its own website so that we can host such things as articles or additional information, meet and greet, however it is that we can, tie in parent, district, and community together.
And you're also on Facebook at this point.
Yes, we've created a Facebook page. It's called the N.I.C.E Parents and Community Organization, and that's also a great place to kind of connect up with us.
Now, how many parents are right now in the organization?
I've lost track because daily we receive, more and more emails, more and more hits on the Facebook page.
Well, it seems like people have really welcomed the opportunity to be part of this.
Absolutely.
And to find a way to channel getting involved in this international education initiative of the school district.
I agree. As a matter of fact, I think this is one thing that was missing from all the wonderful things that we do within our town. We were missing this international aspect. I think that Newtown, as a town, we're very homogeneous and we're not truly representative of the larger world. And we want to make these opportunities available for kids who and families who may not venture out, or are not able to get, overseas. So we want to bring the culture to them. Many may not take a trip over, but we are hoping, and I think that this is, Jason would also tell you the same thing, is that, the hope is to provide opportunities for everyone and even the community to get involved.
And really what I found is in talking to people who have been involved in the program, my family's been involved in it, others have, and whether they do go overseas or not, it's making a difference really in the lives of the students who participate.
Yes.
And it's broadened out what we're talking about doing in the school district. And there is a lot of debate sometimes about why are we teaching Chinese music at the Reed School, or why are we focusing on the Chinese language, but that's all part of evolving and growing what we offer our kids to connect in a modern world.
Right. I think that in response to that, from an educational perspective, to teach what we already know, to me, is not learning. We want to learn by learning something new. And I think that the Chinese culture is an example of learning something that's very different, a culture and a language and a people that are very different. But also, interestingly enough, as I talk to people and hear, different things, I recognize that we are also very alike. I mean, we are human, we have the same human needs, such as love and empathy and, to have a job, to send your children to school, to take care of our elderly. These are all issues that are global, but the beauty is in how we do it, the differences in how we do it.
And it's amazing that once you do start communicating as people and the governments get out of the way, there are always cultural issues, but the people can manage the cultural issues.
Right.
And you start realizing we're all, like you said, we have a lot of common ground. My daughter, in staying with her host family, came back impressed by the fact of how much she had in common with them.
Right.
And even though they ate different food and had different types of customs, the way they related as a family to her was very similar to her experience. And a lot of the kids have said the same thing. So it's been amazing. I also wonder, though, and I'd like your opinion on this, what it means for us as a country to have these types of exchange programs. Again, I think it's tremendous that Newtown's program has so quickly been recognized as a national program that is of cultural and educational importance to our country.
Yeah. I think it's huge. It has a huge impact on Newtown and on the children. The world is becoming smaller. It's shrinking, with the advent of computer technology, with, Skype. And now I Skype to my parents overseas, and I think that's made the world a different place. We no longer do business within our confines. And I think that, for example, just on taking a small example, when you do business with somebody from China, for example, you want to be respectful of their customs and not say or do something that, you know, would make them stand back. By the same token, they also are learning about us. So we want to be able to have those relations with, not just with the Chinese, but with, you know, all different types of people in a way that's respectful so that we can, you know, have good business relations, make friends, and a whole host of other, you know, wonderful opportunities.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. So it's very interesting. There's a lot of things that parents are getting involved with the students while we're hosting the students and teachers the next few weeks in February. How do you envision the organization supporting this International Education Initiative during the course of the entire year? What types of things have you guys discussed, if anything, yet? And maybe it hasn't gotten there yet.
It's a clean slate right now. And, you know, from my perspective, it's incredibly exciting. That's why, you know, some people may not, you know, want to be on the forefront of taking on something that has not been defined. And I absolutely love that kind of opportunity because, you know, it allows me to sort of reach out to people and say, what do you think it should be? What do you think we should do? Right now the canvas is clean and we can paint it in any color or shape or whatever that we want. So, you know, we're thrilled and welcome people to come forward with whatever it is that they want to do, whatever it is that they want to see that the parent and community organization become. One thing I do want folks to know is that I don't want them to think of it as just a parent organization that's limited to just, you know, the programs that are within the school, because as we grow, you know, these opportunities branch out into the community, and it's amazing to see that, you know, people meet each other and they find opportunities that are not related to the actual educational program. It's been amazing. People have hooked up and talked about music, about art, about different things that interest them, and I think that you know, that's the whole umbrella purpose of the community and parent organization.
Well, it's very exciting. On that note, we have to end. But Desiree, thank you for being here today. If you'd like to learn more about the N.I.C.E Parents and Community Organization, you can find the group on Facebook. Stay tuned and keep an eye out for their new website. Exciting things are happening here in Newtown, and that group and this new group is part of it. We'll be right back.
This is a message from the students of N.I.C.E.
Traveling to China allowed me to see how two cultures can be so different and so alike at the same time. And it has inspired me to want to study abroad in college and has even allowed me to form valuable international friendships with students from across the world.
I've talked to many of my friends who had been on the trip last year, and they really influenced me in signing up for the trip because the experience that they described that they had truly seemed unbelievable to me. Something that I would really have to be there to experience.
I'm talking to people who went on the trip last year. They basically told me that the experiences they've had have shaped them as a person, and it really let them decide what they wanted to do with their lives. And I'm kind of at that point that I'm in high school and I don't really know what I want to go into when I go to college and beyond. So I think that this experience will allow me to make a decision and choose a path in life.
Find out how N.I.C.E can change your life. To learn more, visit our website at newtown.k12.ct.us. Click the N.I.C.E icon. Or send an email to nice@newtown.k12.ct.us.
And we're back. The mission of Kevin's Community Center, located in Newtown, is to provide free primary health care for persons over the age of 18 who are uninsured or underinsured and have limited financial resources. KCC serves Newtown, Sandy Hook, Botsford, Hollyville, Dodgington, and the neighboring communities of Roxbury and Bridgewater. Since the clinic opened its doors in 2003, KCC has served more than 1,000 patient visits, providing them with free medical services. Dr. Z. Michael Taweh is the founder and medical director of Kevin's Community Center, and he's with us today. Michael, thank you for being here.
Thank you so much, Gary. Thanks for having me.
So what prompted you to open Kevin's Community Center?
We started the clinic in 2002, soon after my son passed away, so it was in his memory that we started.
And a lot of people have tragedy in their lives, but they don't necessarily then do what you've done in opening a free clinic for the community. What made you feel that that was the right way to honor your son's memory?
You know, of course, at the time when it happened, I was very scattered and, as you can imagine, devastated. My whole family, of course. So at the time, I had Father Peter Towsley, the priest at St. Rose, approach me, and in fact, he put together more like a founding board to, you know, discuss some ideas about how we can honor Kevin's memory and do something good in his name. And being an internist and general practitioner, that was one thought that was exchanged. And we built on it, and in fact, exactly to that day, 1 year after Kevin passed, we were able to open the clinic and start seeing patients.
And what's been astonishing to me as a resident of Newtown for many years is how many people are taking advantage of your services.
And you know, it was very surprising because initially when we needed to get approval from the state for a free clinic, the thought was that this is not really needed in Newtown. It's an influential community. There is a similar setup in Danbury, that this is not needed. But then when we started doing needs assessment and census reports, we found that there's a great need. And of course, since we opened the clinic, everybody who volunteers there and who's ever worked with us has been almost shocked at, you know, as to how much suffering there is and the need that we have for the clinic. In fact, 9 years into it, and we're still seeing new patients. Even in this small geographic location, which is Newtown and it's the surrounding town, we're still seeing new patients every clinic session. And it's mostly middle-income people that don't have health insurance or are underinsured.
Yeah, and again, something that you wouldn't really think about till you actually start seeing the results. And it's very clear that the clinic is filling a need. So what type of services are provided, and why did you choose those specific services for the clinic?
We, again, the decision was to have an internal medicine clinic, primary care, not really pediatric. I'm an internist by training, and at the time we were collecting information and discussing our setup with other organizations, nonprofit healthcare clinics. And there was not really a need for a pediatric clinic. There was the Hanoha Clinic in Danbury, the Husky plan that provides medical services for uninsured parents who have small children. So we realized soon after we started doing our homework that there's a much greater need for internal medicine primary care clinic. And that was the decision to start to do an internal medicine clinic. And since the beginning, we've been very fortunate because we're able to provide free primary care services on site. We also provide free radiology services from Houstonic Radiology in Danbury and in Southbury. Free laboratory services through Danbury Hospital. We also provide our patients with free prescription medications from our stock samples and patient assistance program. We also we were able, even from the beginning, to put together a network of referrals to specialists with over 100 specialists in the greater Danbury area whose services are also donated. We also provide diabetes education programs and work closely with social service department in Newtown and Danbury Hospital to find and provide those additional services that we cannot provide at the center that go beyond just medical care, which will include, of course, food pantry and patient assistance programs to those that qualify. And indeed, over the years, we've seen many patients that actually make less than 100% of the federal poverty level that actually qualified for state assistance.
Wow.
as well, and we were able to refer them and help them
Yeah.
in that process.
Yeah, I mean, and I wasn't aware of how extensive this network is that you've created. It's not just
It's
your
very
services,
impressive.
but a lot of people.
You know, the idea initially was to find at least one or two providers in the different disciplines. So one in neurology, one in ophthalmology, gastroenterology, orthopedics, general surgery, and we ended up having the means to get more than 100 specialists to provide all that services, which is good, which is very important, because as it turned out, most of our patients need more than just a basic or an occasional care. The majority of our patients, unfortunately, have chronic medical conditions like heart disease, diabetes, cancer, hypertension, that need not just an occasional visit and medications also, but regular follow-ups, specialty care, and the likes, and we're able to provide it.
So some would say that this would be a depressing undertaking with people who are so sick having to come and find free care because they're uninsured and just because of their situations. And yet I think in many ways, I'm sure the people working with the center find it to be the total opposite.
Very true. We have a lot of dedicated volunteers, and you know, I'm very blessed to have met all these people that go there day after day, do the work, expecting nothing in return, and providing really the best service possible that you can encounter anywhere. You know, I have my private practice in Danbury, my full-time practice, and you know, I can assure you that the care we are able to provide at Kevin's cannot be matched anywhere else under any circumstances. So we're very lucky, we're very blessed. Obviously, the community has, you know, allowed us to do that. So.
And have you been surprised at the reception the center has received from local residents?
Extremely, extremely. And in fact, we don't do much in the way of advertisement, and almost on a weekly basis when I go to the center, we have volunteers involved in fundraising, in thank you notes, and we see the checks come in, mostly individual donations from community, you know, from people in the community. And in fact, that's the primary source of income for us, residents mostly in Newtown and the surrounding communities.
So now, how do people determine if they're eligible to use the services at Kevin's Community Center?
Very good question. We made it very easy because since the beginning we realized that the majority of patients that really need the help are actually middle income people, because those that make less than 100% of the federal poverty actually qualify for some state assistance. But those that make between 100 and 300% really have a dire need. So for most of these people, it's either paying a mortgage or affording a health insurance policy. And it's mostly middle income people, you know, working parents, children, self-employed, that don't have insurance or are significantly underinsured with a policy that's over $5,000 deductible, for example. So we take all of those, and just to give you an example, if you have a family of four with an average income of $65,000, they actually still qualify for our services. And this is the majority of our patients. Middle income families, you know, working families, making money but not enough to pay a mortgage, to pay a car rental or a car loan, and other expenses, plus a healthcare policy, which of course is ever more expensive year after year with higher deductibles, higher co-pays, and more exclusions. So even with all the talk about healthcare reforms, unfortunately, we're seeing more and more patients who are uninsured. And we're hoping that this will be only situational.
Right. Well, that's, I think we're all hoping. And you know, the hope is that with a better economy, some of these problems start to disappear. And let's hope that's the case. Because,
Exactly true.
I'm sure you're heartened that you're providing such services to many, but I'm sure you'd be happy to see fewer people walking through the doors, because that would mean that there are more people with insurance who are able to get the type of medical attention they need without having to go to a free clinic.
That's exactly true. That's exactly how it is. And again, this is the one setup that we wish we didn't have to do or do less of.
But it's amazing the service you're providing. Now, you mentioned that you have people just showing up to volunteer. How can people become more involved in Kevin's Community Center if they would like to get involved?
There are actually a lot of ways that people can help. And money is not just the only way to help. Obviously, money is definitely needed. At this time, our operation costs about $90,000 to $100,000 per year, but we provide over $500,000 in donated medical services each year. And this is based on last year's figures. So we try to keep the cost of the operation very low, very extremely low. Everybody is a volunteer except a part-time director of nursing, whose salary is very small. So people enjoy the fact that this is a very efficient operation. So one way obviously is to make donations, to volunteer at the center, to visit our website and fill out an application, maybe to volunteer for our different activities, including fundraising events and that we have throughout the year. Also by telling their friends who are in the healthcare field, doctors, nurses, receptionists, to come and volunteer as well. And that's really how we make it work.
Yeah, well, it's an amazing story, and we look forward to following this. And hopefully as things develop and new things happen with Kevin's Community Center, you'll come back and fill us in. Now, KCC is open each Wednesday afternoon from 1 to 5.
1 to 5, yes.
So that's great. So appointments are encouraged, but people may just walk in to receive medical treatment. Yeah. So for more information, you can call or leave a message at the clinic at 426-0496. That's 426-0496. Or go online to kevinscommunitycenter.com. That's kevinscommunitycenter.com. So that's all for this edition of Newtown's World. Well, that's right, kevinscommunitycenter.org. I'm sorry, kevinscommunitycenter.org. So anyway, Michael, thank you for being here. A wonderful story, wonderful things you're doing, and please continue. We'll be cheering for you. And that's all for this edition of Newtown's World. Thanks for watching, and until next time, live life well.
Thank you, Gary.